Hello there. Yes, I'm making this and I'm being a bit of a jerk while I'm making this. But November 18th of this year, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet releases, and I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream, and I would like to see you all there. That's right, November 18th. That's a Friday, 24-hour stream. I will be doing it, and I will be having fun. So come on by, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, do all that stuff, and yeah, we'll have fun. So this is a more interesting article that Bounding put out because it comes from a report. Don't know, we only know a little bit about who made this report. Don't know a whole lot because it comes from an unnamed group, an unnamed company, and works with one unnamed show that was set to be made and then one show that's fake. But I do find this interesting because I think it's true. New report claims Hollywood focus groups overwhelmingly prefer fake, problematic TV show to real woke production. So what does that actually mean? And they go through it, but it means people would prefer, and I think this is a perfect example, people prefer Terminal List over She-Hulk. People prefer big buff dudes doing masculine things and might have a little naughty language in it and sexy women being very revealing, but they prefer stuff like that over, well, let's face it, She-Hulk. And I know real quick, I'm going to address my thumbnail. I know my thumbnail has Predator versus Prey. I think that's just a decent example. I know I kind of like Prey. I don't think it's nearly as good as Predator. This is a side note, but I'm using it as an example that people would prefer Predator over Prey. Let's be 100% real here. People prefer Predator over Prey. But let's get into this article. According to a new report, when presented with a choice between the two, Hollywood focus groups are overwhelmingly favoring a fake television show filled with problematic elements over a woke series that is actually in production. A typical industry practice, this is just them talking about focus groups, but focus groups are a sort of group interview conducted by various studios to gauge the interest in various demographics in a given product, such as film, television show, or video game. We all know that. If you didn't know that, that's what it is. But you should probably know that. As allegedly detailed in independent Disney report, WDW Pro, by one of their verified insiders, over the past 2 years, one unnamed studio has been organizing a number of such interviews in order to gauge interest in one of their new, already greenlit police action series. So they end up getting into this. They have this police action series already in the works. It's practically being made, but nobody wants it as of now. It might find a home eventually somewhere, but they go into like the premise of this police show and the show that they used to, this fake show that they used to compare it to. And it's to be expected, the results. To do so, they screened 3 episodes of said series, as well as 3 episodes of a fake, tonally opposite cop show produced solely for the purpose of the focus group, and afterwards asked participants which of the 2 options they found more engaging. Notably, these episodes were composed of partial animatics with an audio accompaniment. Some of this stuff doesn't make any sense, like the animatics and accompaniment, because a lot of it was because their fake show, they use clips and stuff and they just threw stuff together to make a show with limited voice cast, different for each, and featured no music. As detailed by WDW Pro's source, Show A, which is currently in production, follows the story of a young POC policewoman who gets dumped by her girlfriend and transfers to a precinct. Why can't I read? A precinct in southern town where she is shocked by the racism, sexism, and abuse of power of her new colleagues, as well as their poor relations with the communities they serve. Man, just that description sounds like it'd be a doozy. Probably fail after their pilot. With few friends, she doesn't know who are the good guys and who are the bad guys anymore, and has to watch her back on and off duty while she tries to initiate change both in her department and in her community, the source added. Man, that sounds like a perfect show for the CW, honestly. Because that's all the CW does is they put these shows out. Curious why they didn't pick it up. If it's too bad for the CW, it's too bad for anything. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Show B presented viewers with two young detectives, two white guys, one Ivy League and the other a good old boy. Oh, you gotta love our good old boys. Who are partnered in Vegas, where they cultivate informants and recurring girlfriends. Oh, that sounds fun. Every episode includes a fist fight with chairs and bottles flying. Every second episode has a car chase, detailed in the Insider. Allies with blowing newspapers, jumping from rooftops to rooftop, unnecessary overpowered firearms, and muscle cars on the strip. That actually sounds really fun. I know it's fake, but I want it now. Give me this show. It sounds fun. Vegas location used to the hilt, from gruggy and run down to full-on glam. An explosion per episode. Tough police chief who supposedly hates the two rookies, but he really has a heart of gold. Good-natured camaraderie among officers. Helicopter unit heavily featured, along with a canine as a semi-regular. They continued, Vegas is Vegas, cops are good, bad guys are the bad guys, and they either get shot, blown up, or caught and go to jail. Doesn't that sound like a fun... That sounds like such an old presence that we haven't had in ages. Just some dumb buddy cop show. And the results are people want the dumb buddy cop show that's probably over the top and a little zany over the CW show. And I'm calling Show A the CW show because it sounds so much like a CW show. But also from their descriptions, you have... From this, it was just 2 quotes. Then you come over here to what Show B was, and they went into detail. It's ridiculous. Unfortunately for the studio, or according to the Insider, Show B tested better with all groups, no matter age, sex, or race. Because people want that. And this is going to go into what my thumbnail was. And why I made that thumbnail the way I did it. The production house went on to pitch Show A to a couple of streamers. One was Netflix, with a few modifications. They explained it was always their intent to pitch Show A. Show B was only there as a control, as an assemblage of classic cop show beats to learn from. Interestingly, as pointed out by the Insider, while episodes of Show A were adapted outlines done by the real writers of the proposed show, Show B episodes were quickly hacked up, adapted old episodes of Starsky and Hooch with a car swapped out for a Dodge Challenger. See, people want Starsky and Hooch over the CW show. People want something that's just simply masculinity to the max fun, dumb buddy cop show over the CW nonsense. Very little effort was put in on the audio and the animatics. I don't know what this is, animatics. We objected at the discrepancy and quality of the presentation materials, they recalled, but it didn't matter. Show B popped huge, just huge. The leads, the chief, Vegas, the women, explosions, the helicopter, and the car. No, the car and the dog, all. You see, that's because people want that. People want fun. That's what that was. Show B was nothing but fun. It probably had a convoluted plot line. It probably had a bunch of nonsensical moments that just things happen because things happen. But you gave them exactly what you said. You gave them explosions. You gave them helicopter. You gave them cars. You gave them dog. You gave them possibly sexy women. That's all people want. And I didn't mean to do that. And I'm trashing that one right now. Because all you gave them essentially was Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious movies, plot-wise, story-wise, aren't that great. But what are they? They are explosions, cars, helicopters, women, Vegas, car chases, dinosaurs in space, family. They're fun. They are a popcorn movie, and that's what people want. People want to go have fun again. They don't want to be inundated with your CW nonsense right here, with your identity politics, racisms, black POC, possibly POC lesbian who got dumped by her girlfriend and now has to battle the cops. People don't want all this messaging. They want dumb fun. In light of this feedback, the studio is said to have gone back and made a few modifications to Show A before pitching it to streamers. However, as per the insider, streamers still apparently passed on Show A. Yeah, because it's the same old that we've been getting over and over and over again. There's a reason. There's a reason, again, using Fast and Furious as an example. Fast and Furious has gone so long because it's hitting maybe these base details, but it's hitting them precisely, and that's all people want. People don't want this long, methodical, thoughtful thing when they go see a Fast and Furious movie. They want to see cars, good-looking women, explosions, big guys with muscles, and guns. That's all they want. But is instead being reworked with a supposed military setting and is still being shopped around. A military setting would probably make it even worse, because your graph basically tells you nobody wants your CW stuff. Ultimately, WBW Pro's source concluded, man, somebody is going to get really rich putting a 1970s, 1980s style cop show on the air on one of these days. Just buy up the rights to some old Starsky and Hooch episodes and give them a very slight polish, and you'd be golden. God, my reading plus bounding had some errors. Isn't that amazing though? But this goes into my thumbnail. Back to the bigger idea that I posed with my thumbnail. And I use Predator 1 versus Prey as the example. Even though I, in fact, did enjoy Prey, it's just not as good as Predator 1. But what was Predator 1? What was it? It was a bunch of big, buff, masculine dudes in the jungle fighting a alien from outer space. There was a bunch of explosions. There was a bunch of guns. There was a sexy girl, even though she wasn't that sexy. It was 80s. It was 80s fun mixed in with this new era of this new sci-fi horror style where the buff, beefy guys were actually getting killed off. They weren't winning. They actually had to struggle. And they had to use their brains over their brawn all the time. But then you take that to Prey. What was Prey? Yeah, Prey was, for what we have now, decent. But it was still filled with identity politics. It still had issues left, right, and center. And you still had a girl who is probably 90 pounds soaking wet take on a big buff dude and be able to kill it perfectly. Yeah, he had some challenges, and yeah, he had issues. She had to do some stuff and had to get help, but that's all it was. You compare that to the original Predator. Original Predator is still 100 times better than that Prey. Prey's just decent. That's all it is. So you take that, and people want the 70s, 80s style. People want the big buff guys. People want the 90s, early 2000s styles. People are tired of She-Hulk. Prey's probably the worst example I could have used, but I used it for a reason. People don't want She-Hulk. People don't want Wakanda Forever, which is coming out, and I'm going to go see it. People didn't like what you did to Obi-Wan. People aren't enjoying what you did Star Trek at all. People hated the Watchmen series, but people then, when you go through this, people like Yellowstone. People like the other 1883, which is Yellowstone's prequel. People loved Terminal List. People like these shows. People hate everything, all the woke stuff. You use the CW example for show A as a perfect example because that's what it is. All we're getting is CW everywhere, and we're tired of it. We just want dumb fun, and give us dumb fun. And with that, guys, give me your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out with all your friends. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.